This trial was considered to be the trial of the century. And one thing that this trial dragged out of us was a strong desire to see justice done. As the trial went on, at least on social media, the general public raged with tweets about how they wanted to see truth and justice prevail. But as I'm sure you've heard by now, Amber did not win the case, and she believes strongly that she should have won the case, even though most of social media believes that she was completely wrong on this one. In this video, we're going to talk about why Amber believes that the verdict was wrong, why I believe that it's a good thing that we do have a justice system in place for things like this, and then I'm going to talk about what I believe we can all take away from this, so make sure you stick around to the end. Now, what was interesting to me is that both parties recorded their private conversations and they played clips from that during the trial, and in my opinion, both parties have their fair share of issues and they both said and did some awful things to each other while they were together. But as the trial went on, at least on social media, the public opinion seemed to be initially a lot more favorable towards Amber Heard, but as the trial continued to go on and people started hearing more and more details, they eventually started to turn against Amber Heard. People wanted to see Amber lose this case, which, as you probably know by now, she did. But of course, to Amber, this wasn't a fair outcome. And in a statement immediately following the verdict, she said, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. I'm sad that I lost this case, but I am sadder still that I seem to have lost the right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly." Now, no matter if you believe that Amber was innocent or guilty when it comes to this situation, for the sake of the video, let's just say that the majority of the public opinion was right and Amber was wrong. So even if it was the case that Amber was lying, and even if she knew that she was lying about some aspects, I would still be willing to bet that she still believes that she was right overall and that Johnny was mostly wrong in their relationship. But now think about this. You, on the outside looking in, you're confident that she's clearly wrong, but she doesn't seem able to see it. But to her, you're clearly wrong for thinking that she's clearly wrong. So the better question is, if she's clearly wrong, why can she not see that she's clearly wrong? The reason why is because when it comes to ourselves, we have a tendency to minimize the things that we did wrong so that way we can either see ourselves as the good guys or we'll see the issue as being complicated. Of course, when it comes to us, we have our reasons for why we were justified in doing what we did. If justice were determined by what an individual thinks that they did wrong, then of course there would be no fair justice in this world. And this is why I think that trials and court cases like this are so beneficial. Since it's so hard for us to be objective when it comes to ourselves, we need someone else from the outside and a more objective judge to sort out the things that we did wrong so that way truth and justice can, at least hopefully, prevail. Now, as most of you guys who watch this channel know, I'm a Christian and I always try to give a Christian perspective on things. So if there's a Christian take that we can take away from this trial, one thing that we can consider is how we see ourselves when it comes to sitting in front of the most objective judge who knows us and all of the situations that we're in better than we know ourselves, and that's God. Like Amber, and again, given that she's guilty and she's wrong in this case, our instincts will also tell us that we're more right than not, and the things that we are guilty for really aren't that bad. We would also be able to come up with a million different reasons for why God wouldn't be fair to give us a negative verdict. But that's only because we blind ourselves to the reality of just how bad we truly are and just how wrong we can be on things. But when it comes to God, of course, Amber doesn't believe in God. She's publicly stated that she's an atheist. When it comes to the initial reason that she gave for why she's an atheist, should that reason have made her an atheist, or instead should it have led her to conclude that Christianity were true? I give my thoughts on that in this video, so go ahead and click here and I'll see you over there. But the next time you catch yourself trying to protect yourself of your views of yourself, you can ask yourself, what do you mean?